Welcome to VPTV. I'm your host today, Andy Amrine, and this is another of our Handy Andy segments. Guess what we're going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about clogged drains, what you can do to help yourself and to help the municipality itself. We've had a lot of issues lately with toilets being clogged, floor drains being clogged, main sewer lines being clogged, and our wastewater treatment plants being clogged. And a lot of those clogging is taking place by one issue, and that's these handy wipes, all these type of Clorox wipes, all these different wipes that people are using. So appreciate you tuning in. We're going to have some education today and try and have a little bit of fun today. But we're always talking about clogged drains, whether your toilet or your floor drain. So stay tuned and let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, here we are in a commonly used facility in the house, whether this is a basement or a shop one. So it's not too pretty here, but it's still the same thing. It's still a toilet. It still does what every other toilet in the world does. So you use it, you flush it, and everything from there, of course, goes down the drain, and it goes down your pipe, goes outside, and it heads downstream to your wastewater treatment plant. And a big issue that we're having, like we've been talking about, is these wipes. These wipes are terrible. They do not decompose in water like toilet paper does. So if you're taking these and wiping and you're getting all these germs and you think, what am I going to do with these germs? I'm going to flush them down the toilet to get them out of the house. Bad idea, very bad idea. And we could show you why, we could show you what it's doing, but it's clogging your pipe, it's clogging your toilets, but it's also doing an injustice to the entire community and the municipality. So just because you have the wipes, this plunger, you may need the plunger, but even the plunger is not going to be strong enough to take care of what these are doing. Since they do not decompose in water, they do not decompose at the wastewater treatment plant. And think of it, if your drain even has the slightest root or obstruction, what these are going to do is cling hold to that, never let go, and it's just problems upon problems upon problems. So please, working at home, family's home, whatever, use your wipes all you want. Disinfect, clean them, but please, please, please take them and put them in the trash. Do not put them down your toilet. You will have problems with it down the road. Once all that water leaves your toilet, your water closet, it has to go somewhere. And the next place it goes after it's following the pipes through your house is it comes down into your basement or your garage before it goes outside. And what you have is you have a floor drain. Okay, this is a floor drain cover. You open up the floor drain and you look down and you could see a trap. There's standing water there. That trap or that standing water prevents your stored gases from coming back up into the house itself. So if you ever get that sewer gas smell in the basement, it's because this trap inside the floor of the basement or the garage has dried up. So just adding a bucket of water to that trap is going to allow the trap to be filled and allow the gases to be blocked by the water instead of coming into the house. But as we were showing in the bathroom, all these wonderful little wipes that everybody wants and they're flushing down the toilet, they're not going to make it through all that plumbing that you have in the house. And if they do make it through there, then they're going to get stuck in the pipes heading out to the street. If they perchance make it out there, then they're heading into the municipal lines, and I guarantee you that they are going to clog the grinders and the pumps down at the wastewater treatment plants. Those poor guys are taking those pumps apart almost every day with crowbars and digging bars to get all these things out, and the amount of money and time and everything they're spending is just atrocious. So what you are doing, and we rent snakes. We rent a lot of different snakes, from your little handheld units that maybe cost 20 bucks a day to your next size up ones that are about 30 bucks a day to bigger ones which are $40 a day to these super sized ones that have root eaters and so forth on them that are about 60 bucks a day. And when none of these work, then you're getting into fiber optic cameras which are about $300 a day to find out where your clogs are and what's going on with your plumbing itself. So just because you took those $5 pack of wipes and you're flushing them down, now you're spending hundreds of dollars here to take care of those drains for something that you never should have done. And just think of, okay, these are going to fit down the drain itself. So you're turning the machine on and you're running these cables down the drain for an hour or 2 hours, feeding them, getting all that sludge, getting all that junk and so forth. And all these different snakes, they have different ends on them to do different things depending on what kind of clogs and how big the pipes are. So just like anything else in plumbing, it's done on capacity. So do you have a 1-inch line, 2-inch line, 3-inch line, 4-inch line? You have to pick the right machine to go through that. These little handheld ones, these are designed to just go through a bathtub trap or a kitchen sink type trap. Then you're getting into the heavier 2-inch lines and 3-inch lines. Now you're getting into the bigger 3-inch lines, and now you're getting into the 4-inch lines. And these different cutting heads here, these are the ones that are designed to be cutting into the roots itself. So the big dilemma, these are not going to travel through the lines itself. One root, just one root hanging out there, and these rags are going to cling hold, and there's no chemical on earth that'll dissolve these enough for them to flush through the system itself. So from there, you have to go and get the snakes to feed down, and hopefully they feed through the line itself to get down, to cut out those roots, and to get out those tiles and everything that we're doing here. So think before you flush. That's all we're asking, is you think before you flush. If you don't, and these are going down the drain, then this is where we're going to make a lot of money by renting you all these snakes, and they may or may not help you with that clog itself. But even if they do, and you don't have to call a plumber, which is going to cost you $200 or $300 to clean that drain, just think of it going downstream and how it has to affect the people, the amazing people that at our wastewater treatment facility, cleaning out those grinders and pumps to get all these tiles and toilets and so forth out, just because you were putting them down the toilet thinking because they were too dirty, too grimy, or too full of germs, and you didn't want to put them into a waste receptacle that they were made for. So just keep this in mind, please, as we're working on drains, you're working on flushes in the toilets. You have to think of what's happening when what that is going into that toilet and what you're flushing down the line itself. So there's a lot of different wipes on the market. Yes, I'm a hardware geek, so I got wipes that are supercharged type of wipes, and these are a stronger, more durable one. But there are a lot of wipes on the market. You know, Clorox makes one, 3M makes one, the Turbo company makes one. They all make them, and there's even ones that say flushable. Don't believe it. They are not flushable. There is not a wipe made that is flushable down that toilet. Nothing should go in that toilet except your body waste and toilet paper. Don't put paper towels down there. Don't put Kleenex down there. Nothing, absolutely nothing should be down that toilet that is not toilet paper or human waste itself. So no matter what brand you have out there, from Clorox to any of them, please, please, please do yourself a favor, do me a favor, do our municipality a favor. Do not put anything down your system with the exception of toilet paper. And okay, I don't care if it's 1-ply or 2-ply toilet paper, but toilet paper and the actual human waste is the only thing that should be ever going down that toilet itself. Because otherwise it'll cause you problems, it'll cause us problems, it'll cause municipality problems. It's going to cause everybody a world of problem. And it's going to end up costing you, whether not now by having to rent a machine, but in higher taxes for your municipality to take care of that wastewater treatment facility that is being overwhelmed and crushed right now because of what people are putting down the toilets. So please, 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 toilet paper, human waste, that's it. Nothing else should be going down that toilet itself.
Hello, my name is Mike Pompicelli. I'm here to talk to you today about a topic that most individuals do not think about, but as of late it seems to become an important issue given the fact that this COVID-19 virus has generated a crisis that stemmed a large purchase of toilet paper in most of our markets. This product seems to be the most sought after. I'm not certain that many people need 1,000 rolls of toilet paper, but it is a necessary product. But I'm here to talk to you today about what we should and should not be flushing down our toilets. It is imperative that individuals who have purchased alternative products because they can't get toilet paper on the shelves today understand that many of these products say perhaps flushable on the side or in the directions, but that doesn't mean that they should be flushed down the toilet. Like a lot of other products, baby wipes, paper towels, Kleenexes, all these products are considered non-biodegradable. And what that means is they do not degrade down readily easily. And therefore, the process, by the time they are flushed and reach the treatment facility, they may still be intact, unlike toilet paper, which degrades really easily and does not cause a problem to the sanitary systems. You begin to flush these products, and over time, they could possibly build up either in your sewer lateral or in the sanitary main system. These buildups will eventually become backups and could be costly to the homeowner down the road. If you are unsure what to flush or not what to flush, on our website we have created a list under Do Not Flush, which states items that seem to be relatively self-explanatory what not to flush down the toilet. The only things that should be flushed down the toilet are human waste and toilet paper. That's it. Anything else should go into the garbage. Other products that are on the list that should not be flushed down the toilet are also some of the products that you shouldn't be pouring down your sink drain as well, and that's grease, some products that fish waste and things like that. Those are products that you shouldn't also be flushing down the sanitary system, and that's where the kitchen sink leads to as well. So again, if you're looking for a complete list or just some of a list of what things you should not flush down the toilet, please visit our website at bethelpark.net and follow the guidelines to Do Not Flush, and you'll find a list there. Okay, thank you, and have a nice day.
All right, I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Scott Dunn, and Scott is the director at our wastewater treatment plant for Bethel Park, South Park. And Scott, you enlightened me at the very beginning of this pandemic that we have of what's going on with these wonderful little wipes that everybody wants and everybody's cleaning with. So I've been chatting a little bit about what's going on with people flushing them down the toilets and the effect that it has on their plumbing, from using a simple plunger to getting drain snakes, the floor drains, and the roots that are outside that they're getting stuck into and so forth. But I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about to really emphasize the impact that it's having on you and your crew down at our wastewater treatment plant. So can you elaborate a little bit on what your team is going through every single day because of these?
Well, what's going on at the treatment plant is just because of the coronavirus and everybody instructed to clean so often, and people are, instead of just typically using your household cotton cloths that you wash and stuff, they're buying disposable wipes to wipe things up, Lysol, because Lysol and different manufacturers say that it kills 99% of the virus on the system. So people are using these things, but when they're done with them, instead of just disposing them into the trash, they're flushing them down their commodes. Basically, it's the easiest way to get rid of them, and they end up eventually down at the wastewater treatment plant. With so many people, with all the residents in Bethel and South Park Township, like for our particular system, there's so many wipes in the system, it's actually clogging the main screens in the treatment plant to the point where it's actually building up into raw sewage pumps and clogging the pumps. So when that happens is my employees need to go in and shut down the beginning part of the treatment plant and tear the pumps apart once, twice a week and clean these balls of these flushable wipes out of the pumps. And they're taking between 8 and 10 5-gallon buckets of wipes out of 4 pumps once a week.
Now, a 5-gallon bucket of these, you're probably talking 10 or 20,000 of them per bucket. But, you know, the sheer number is fine, but I've seen your guys, they're actually standing in waste to take these screens and pumps apart to do it. So we are asking them to get knee deep in stuff to tear these apart because people aren't throwing these away like they're supposed to, and they're sending them down the sewage lines.
Correct. I mean, we know as employees of the wastewater treatment plant, there's parts of the job where you actually got to get in and do dirty work in sewage and pumps and stuff. And we have to drain the pumps down and everything. And the guys put on their PPE and their boots and their gloves and everything to get everything drained down and cleaned up. But it's like it's something that's never really was a major issue before the virus. And
So
now,
prior to this year, how often did you have to do that?
I have never torn a wastewater raw sewage pump apart from being clogged, and I've been in the treatment plant since 1987.
Okay, so 30 years,
30 years, we've
35
never-
years that you've never had this issue
Correct.
until March when all the pandemic started and people started flushing these down.
Correct.
So 100% of the issue is from people flushing these and other things down the drain that they're not supposed to.
Correct.
And now we've talked about this earlier on the show that there's some of these that are marked flushable. In your opinion?
None of them are flushable. If you cannot put it in water and it kind of dissolves itself
Right.
in the water, it's not flushable. What we're finding with them, when we take them out, they all have fibers in them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't pull them apart, they're not going to make it through the system or any of the processes.
So long term, okay, if the pandemic, say, winds down here the next month or two and they find a virus and so forth, people are used to doing these now. What's going to be the long-term effect to you, your staff, and to our facility at the wastewater treatment plant?
Well, the only thing that we can do to deal with it at the treatment plant is to do an upgrade at the treatment plant, to deal with, they make some equipment, different high-grade screens and stuff that can actually remove these things. But the problem is so large in the wastewater industry, even across the whole country.
Right.
Even the major screening systems are still having trouble today dealing with as
So
many as
this
we're
is a
having.
national problem. This isn't
Correct.
just here in Bethel Park. This is a problem that all of your fellow wastewater treatment plants are experiencing right now.
Yes, actually, if you go online and just Google flushable wipes and wastewater treatment plants, it comes up. There's reports from Forbes magazine across the board of all the treatment plants that are having major problems because of these things.
So an upgrade, people may say, oh, okay, well, a couple $100,000 and they could buy a new pump, right?
No, upgrades in the wastewater treatment plant don't work
Yeah.
that way.
You're
they're
probably $10 to $20 million worth of equipment that you're going to have to be putting in there just because our residents are flushing these.
Yeah,
So think of it.
It's
you know,
a significant upgrade.
Yeah, so you're gonna, because you spent $5-6 on a can of Clorox wipes or Lysol wipes or something like that. Okay, you said fine, it flushed. It's not your issue. It's not your problem, but it is going to be your issue when we have to upgrade our wastewater treatment plant to $10, $15, $20 million. So think of it. Throw it in the garbage can. Okay, my store's going to make some money by renting you this equipment, but still think of the long-term effect it's having on our municipality and what it's going to cost us for an upgrade.
Correct.
Any other thoughts or dilemmas or things that they could do other than don't flush it?
Just throw them in the rubbish.
Yeah.
Tie them in a plastic bag in the rubbish and put them out in the garbage man. We'll take them away. Be very happy to take them, and they won't come down to us.
There you go. And that's
So
a deal.
That's the easiest way to deal with it.
Anything else you want to share with us on this pandemic dilemma that we're
No.
experiencing on your end of it?
Well, we just want everybody to stay clean and do the cleaning you're doing and try to get this under control. But, use the good household cleaners and, hot water when you do the laundry, and you can rewash your rags and reuse them, and they'll be disinfected when you're done and cleaned that way. Or if you want to spend the money on the wipes, just dispose of them in the
Yeah.
trash. That's all.
I say quit using the wipes. You can't find them anyhow. There's none available to buy, but just quit using them and clean as you know you need to clean on it, and quit flushing those down the toilets. So, Scott, I appreciate you stopping by and sharing some of your insight to the world of the wastewater treatment plant. Thank you for tuning in to BPTV on this very special show, very important show. I'm your host, Andy Amrine. This was a Handy Andy segment. And remember, you got plungers, you got snakes, but it's all because of those wipes. So quit flushing those wipes down the toilets. We'll see you again soon.